Music is always good, isn't it?
Always good. I love this
Great.
theme song.
Yes, I know. Since the very beginning, you loved it. That's great. It's interesting that the theme or the name of this music is called Feeding the Ducks.
Feeding the ducks.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyhow, welcome everyone. This is David Parra. I am with Irma Payan. We do have these conversations. We try to have them every other Thursday. Sometimes things get on the way and we might not have them every other Thursday, but that's our plan. Welcome, Irma. Thank you so much for joining.
Welcome, welcome. Bienvenidos. Konnichiwa. Ohayo gozaimasu.
Oh, wow. So you have four ways to say the same thing. That's great.
When my kids would walk into the classroom, I would try to say something new to them in a different language, welcoming them as they walked in. So
amazing. Good. Well, as the banner shows, we are going to talk about Mariachi, Romántica, new app, and a website. So let's get started. We usually like to keep this pretty brief. We just want to give the audience, what's going on kind of thing on our each one of our websites, work, what have you. We kind of work with the same group, so I think we do I think a good job in collaborating because we're kind of serving the same folks, if you will. Let's talk about this. Irma, you do have a couple of events, mariachi event with the Mecha Club in Phoenix College. There's another component to that. And then you'll be covering LatinoUSAtv app and website. It's finally here, huh?
It's finally here.
Wow.
I'll begin with the event at Phoenix College. There are two separate events coming up on April 20th. Mm-hmm. So I want to invite people to either visit the site or there's a QR code that you can scan here. On April 20th, Phoenix College, we all went through COVID. And one thing that was hit were clubs, college clubs. Mm. The Mecha Club used to have fundraisers on campus to raise money to send their students to conferencias or to do things with other groups or to help the students with different programs on campus. Well, since COVID hit, all of that stuff had to be put on hold. Mm-hmm. And so they are lacking in a lot of funds. So they had thought about doing a reunion a while back. And now that supposedly we're out of COVID, they want to do it now. So it is a reunion of former alumni, Mecha alumni. They're going to bring back Elsa Avila, mm-hmm. Pete Demas, and I believe the current sponsors. They're going to try to bring back former Mecha kids, well, adults now. Mm-hmm. But it's a fundraiser, and it's at Phoenix College from 5:30 to 7. And they're hoping this helps raise some funds and to get these students, the money they need to do certain events. That's so one event.
Oh, this is going to be their first, right? Their first.
Yes.
I'm sure that if it's successful, they'll keep doing it.
Yes, by all means.
Yeah.
The other event takes place at Phoenix College on April 20th, the same day, but it's afterwards. It's a mariachi festival. And this is also a fundraiser, but this fundraiser is to help buy the mariachi outfits, the trajes, the suits that they wear. Right. which I know can be very expensive. I can't even imagine how much one would cost, but this is a fundraiser also, and it takes place afterwards in, I believe it's 7 o'clock or 7:30 on. So you could almost attend both events if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's also a fundraiser.
You know, AARP will be will be sponsoring this event. Will be one of the sponsors, and we'll get 10 tickets, and we'll be there. So again, so there's two events. Is Mariachi going to be in both events that you mentioned?
I don't believe so. I believe the first one is just a Mecha reunion.
Okay.
And then the second one is the Mariachi Festival.
Got it.
And they're going to be having food trucks there also.
Oh, great. So, I don't want to put you on the spot. I know two of my three kids joined the Mecha Club in high school. But do you recall what Mecha stands for by chance?
Movimiento Estudiantil Chicanos de Aztlán. I was in Mecha in high school, and I was in Mecha at Mesa Community College, and best times of my life. I mean, it was enlightening to be involved in the movimiento. At that time, it was the mid-'70s, so there was a lot going on, and we used to get together with Phoenix College, with Glendale College, and we would do things together.
Yeah. Well, allow me to announce my event, Irma, and then we'll come back to a second point that you would like to bring to present to folks, and that is the launch, if you will, of LatinoUSAtv. But before we do that, let me just announce another event. This is an AARP event. Many folks might know that in addition to working with you, and most of what I do with Barrio Stories is in English, I do have a radio show in Spanish where I talk about Social Security, Medicare, finances, fraud and scams, and then preparing or retirement preparation. And which in the Barrio Stories platform, we are doing a similar series called Retirement Bound. Well, coming back to the radio show, there's a lot of folks that follow us on radio. And most of them, because the radio is in Spanish, most of them prefer Spanish, if you will. And we are doing an event for them, but it's open for everyone. It's called Época Inolvidable de Música Romántica.
Woo.
And this is, back in the late 60s, 70s, 80s, there were a series of groups in Mexico and South America that it was like a boom, it was a boom of romantic music. We're talking about Los Freddys, Los Humildes, Los Yonix, Los Bukis, Pasteles Verdes, Ángeles Negros, Terrícolas. Even there was a group called La Migra. Let's see, there are just many, many groups. Well, one individual whom I'm showing here on the flyer, his name is Pedro Íñiguez. He happens to be an ex-member of Los Freddys. And Los Freddys were like one of the best groups ever in romantic music. And he was a member of that group for some time. And he's going to join us at an event on the 27th. But I'm going to be sharing a link on our website, on our Facebook page. I wish I had it ready, but I don't. It should be ready by next Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to offer it to folks, and anybody who wants to come and listen to a kind of a recap of that era of music and groups. He's also a music producer. So he has produced kind of like the same songs, but instrumental. And he plays all the instruments and records them and mixes them really well. He's going to be joining us. It's going to be 100% in Spanish. So this is going to be AARP's first Spanish event. And but stay tuned for the link. I hope that many of those watching this show can join us. It'll be our first in Spanish. It'll be very, very entertaining. We'll be starting that event. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 noon with breakfast. We're going to serve a free breakfast, menudo, pozole, and burritos de chorizo
And
with coffee.
registration is required.
It definitely require, yes, unless someone has a really, really hard time using the link to register, they can reach out to me and then I can have a plan B for them. But anyhow, it's coming, and now let's go back to the launch of this thing that you and Gil and the team were eagerly waiting for. What is it about?
Well, for a while we had been talking about this, and it took a while to get off the ground, but we now have an app. You can go to Google Play or to Apple, and you can download an app on your phone to watch us, Latino USA TV. Maybe you missed out on some interviews and you thought, man, where are those interviews at? On this app, you can find our interviews and you can see them. The other thing is we now have a site you can go to.
Yeah.
USA TV.
Let me interrupt you, Irma, because today I downloaded the app on an iPhone, so you can do either iPhone or Android on the Apple Store, and I like it. I really like it. I just wanted to make a suggestion that for Gil to make a welcoming video, so that when one opens up the app, there's Gil or whoever, from the team, just kind of taking us through what we can expect to see. But it's really, really good. I like it. It's very clear. It has sections, and you can select whatever section. And then you have the speakers, right? The ones you interview and the ones that generate, like Raul Aguirre from Tucson, El Doctor, what is his name? The Doctor, the other gentleman that does interviews for you.
Dr. Jose Leiva.
Exactly, Jose Leivas.
La Plática. La Plática.
La Plática. And then, of course, you are there. So it's really good. So let me try, Irma, let me try to share a little bit about of the website. I have it here. It should work. It should work. But this is how it looks. Can you kind of just say a little something about it, and then I'll scroll down so folks know what it is.
When you first log on to the home page, there'll be a pull-down menu. Say there's a yellow thing there that says watch live. Well, that's one of the things. Well, maybe you don't want to watch live, but you want to learn about the hosts. Yeah. So in the home page, you can click where it says host. And maybe you don't know who Dr. Jose Leiva is, and you click on that, and it'll give a small bio of who he is.
Okay.
And so it goes through different hosts, and then it shows their bios and who they are and what type of program or show they offer with our site.
Right.
But we're still building on our site. But basically, say, and this is going to be worked on. Say you have a picture. And you're not on Facebook, but you're on this site, and you want to send us a picture of your family and tell us a story. We're going to create folders so that you can do that on our site. Or maybe, and this is futuristic, you click on a folder, and that folder says Cuatro Milpas. Right. And you want to see some stories from Cuatro Milpas, or you want to see some stories from Tucson. Those folders will open up, and you will see that content within there.
Wow. Well, we know that organizing a website or an app is critical so people find what they need. And I think you're doing a great job. The categories, the folks that do the interviews, it's just looking really, really good. So now to summarize, you have this website, which is www.latinousa.live, right?
Correct.
This would be the website. And then to look for the app, what would be the name? I just did it, but do you remember off the top of your head?
The app is called Latino USA TV.
Right. And Latino USA TV.
And it has to be that color, that pink color, because I believe there's another app that's Latino USA, but it doesn't have the TV attached to it. So make sure it's that color app, that pinkish color.
Right.
And you'll find us.
Wow. I have to believe that you and Gil and the team are extremely happy to see this live, right?
We are. We smile every day knowing that this platform has been growing. It's been real well receptive, and it's just, it's a labor of love. We love what we do.
Definitely. There's a lot of, I can tell there's a lot of work that has been put into this. So there you have it, folks. We have the Arizona Barrio Stories, the Mariachi event on April 20th, and then our Música Romántica event with Pedro Íñiguez on the 27th. Our event is actually both are back to back, 2 Saturdays, right? For our event, you need to register for the Phoenix College event. They would have to buy tickets, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, there you go. I think we are done. Thank you. Anything else that you want to add before we adjourn?
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, it's coming.
The heat is coming. Stay hydrated.
Right. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Adios. Abrazos.
Adiós.
There it is.